Hi guys, so now we already commented hide it all the static code step, but we did in the previous one. Now we want to move to more to like interact this. Everything's same. This is looking at the API key model and the client, the URL, all same. But this part also same. But here there is a involving some history, some other stuff as well. So what are they? So as usual, you know already. First, we need to create. So from here, we already create this client and URL. Then next part is most important part is the history. So from here, we create the history because whatever the request we receive here, we get passed into the history. Whether user request, user type anything, we get the pass into the history. The response from the AI to go to the history as well. So we keep in the object approach. So as usual, so we want to exit, we can quit. So we can put, you know, need to put it up to you. So next, since we're talking about user interactive, so let's move to while loop. So we are talking about while user interaction means we need to while loop. So whenever receive any question from here, this looping still until the exit approach method is working. So let's move to exit approach. So from here they type anything exit, then we break from this loop. So once we done, next is we add the user the text as well into the history. So from here we already create this history as an object. So from this object we already create this add and user in the list format. The text we receive from here we add it into the history. Then third one is the request body. So why we need the request body? So this request body is playing role on the temperature and token. So what here the temperature? Temperature means it's the data we can say is accuracy, but it's not 100% accuracy. It's more to data. So let's say, for example, say you have a stock inventory or something. So you're looking for the value, exact value. So that moment it can go for 0.0. So the whenever the value we returns automatically, there is no additional changes anything beauty, but it must be exact. If let's say put 0.7, 0.9, or 1.0, so something the word whenever it requires A, we come with the A, whatever the alphabetical order is the first order, something you given a lot of the information beside there is accuracy, but it's a go come with the other information as well. Next output token. It's a token. It's every time we request any text we receive, we no need to too long. It's another term we can short term. We can say it's about the text. So the text we're talking about, if let's say 200 is a brief and short, if 300 is a medium, if 512 is a almost it's a detail base. So from this case demo base, so we put 100. So this one every time is supposed to go to our AI studio in the Gemini. He will be taken as a token. Next again as usual, the previous one code everything the same. We get the JSON, we pass everything, then we put into the JSON serialized request body, then it's a posting method, then API call. When they get the response, we pass into the row. After we get the row, then we can get the output. So we get the output. Run this AI. So now we go to explain AI, but he return type C. So you see, looking at the main point, see, looking at this one, candidate, content, and parts, text, all the JSON format. But the issue is we're looking for is in the user friendly. It's not user friendly. How are we going to do that? So second part here again. So whatever we want to save into the history. Looking at this one, whether the history, then second one, we save into the history, the questions we receive from the user. So the response also we need to save into the history. The reason here, the main purpose, the history here, always remember that the AI doesn't keep any data into the database or memories. It's a stateless, another term they call stateless. So what happened? It doesn't save into the save, so we keep it to the history. So what we can do our production side, like our user side, whenever there anything, we can trace back what the user requests anything. Second part is, let's say the user requests anything, so we can do that is looking at the history first. There is any data is content exists or not. If you don't means it pass into the from the history. If you know means it can go for pass directly for the model. This is additional features. So the main purpose here, the history here, they want to trace back. So what user response to everything. So let's say, for example, model everything. So what user commonly requests anything. Next, once we've done this, next, so since we're talking about extract, so we want to go to JSON approach. So what we're going to do here from here, we outside the loop. So we create some static methods from the string method from the extract text. So this raw text I want to convert into the JSON format. So what I'm going to here do, so this point, so I just call extracted from the extract data. So what happened once I get extracted, I pass into the Gemini. So the from the Gemini AI. So then I save into the history. So now we can see the response. So since I talking about is 100, so that's why it's a move to 100 tokens only. So let's I move to 300. So the text is it sometimes it depend on the how we want to interact with the data. If you want to too long, you want to short term, it's a depend short text how we going to based on these tokens. So looking at this one, you would explain C, then you would explain the 300. So something is missing as well from here. Next again, the main part here, this one more interactive, so user friendly. So go to next question for here. So next part here, I want to trace the history. Try to print the history. So how do they get the history? So from this case, whenever user type history, so I want to return the history. So how we can do that? So before the history, so what I going to here, looking at this one, whenever the user type history, so what happened? So you call this ordinary case, then we print the history. So once we print the history, so next we get the history because looking at this one, whenever we save into the history object, but inside the parts as a so as an array. So what going to happen? So automatically we go to the role, then we get the parts. What's the parts inside there? Then we enumerated the object. So enumerated so as an object. So we can pass into the for loop. So loop through one by one from the property, get the text, then we return as a role and text as well. So how we going to test again from this case? So let's say explain C sharp. So since I changed to here 100, so that's why again. So what time now? So fails response. So now what date now? I may not have a clock and get done. So we have seen. Now I want to type history. So what happened? You see the conversation yourself over assistant explain the user, the model return this one. What time now? Failed the base response. What time I'm AI? Then finally I want to print is inside the list as object. So this is important because let's say in the future, let's say you want to working on the large data sets. for your data and everything. So we before we want to move to the model, Gemini model, we check your history first. There is existing history for the users. So we can return what they request before. So from here we can reduce the tokens in order to want to refer the model. So this one for also helping for reduce the cost. Okay, I think. Thank you. Bye.